Welcome to Cannabis School. I'm your host, Jesse Angeles.
And I'm Brandon Elder.
And we're here to talk to you about everything pertaining to cannabis, from vape,
flower,
edibles,
strains,
and everything in between. So, I'm going to pass this to you, and you pass it back to me, right?
Man,
the strain, pass back and
I'm
forth.
pretty sure that was a travel, though.
Nope, it's not a travel, dude. It's not a
Dude,
travel because...
you took more than 2 steps.
No,
Why shoot?
No, you got that wrong. And for those listening, the strain we're going to be talking about relates to basketball. Is that right?
Yeah, NBA Hall of Famer.
Okay, well, if it's a Hall of Famer, who are we talking about?
I know, right? Gary Payton.
Gary Payton. Actually, the strain we're talking about today. So, Gary Payton, one of the funny things is it's a very unusual strain as far as my feeling on it. But before we go into that, Brandon, where does this Gary Payton come from? There's not a seed or anything like that. This has got to be a mixture of several strains.
Yeah, it is. And it was actually a collaboration between Gary Payton and the Cookies brands to make it. So it combines the Y strain and Snowman. So it's usually like low to mid 20s on THC. The most prevalent terpene in there is caryophyllene.
Yeah, it's got kind of a diesel-y taste. It's considered a gas strain. You'll taste it. You'll get kind of like an OG taste, even though it doesn't have. I mean, maybe those other strains have OG in their lineage, but it tastes like that. I didn't mind it. I didn't get a lot of coughing, which is kind of funny because it's more of a peppery strain. But it doesn't hit that hard like as far as what I've experienced from it. First couple of hits takes my breath a little bit, but then after that, super smooth.
It was pretty fast hitting.
Yeah.
So it was hard hitting and long lasting, as in not I really felt super medicated. This was the one that we experienced
right in the pineal gland.
Yeah, in almost like the core of your body all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only place that you could feel it. Initially, I felt it like in my face. And then after that, it just everything sucked into that center core.
Yeah, I felt it like it was very odd. I didn't feel it on my skin necessarily. I didn't feel it on my face or anywhere like that because my endocannabinoid system's different from Brandon's. But at the same time, like when I had it, it hit like right in the middle of my brain, and all I kept thinking was the pineal gland, which, if you know about any of the psychedelics and all that stuff, that's typically where it really gets activated. That's where it's being used the most. But yeah, it felt it right in the middle of my brain. It felt so amazing.
It was surprisingly a very clear, focused, energetic strain.
Very strange.
Yeah, it was my body just noticed a little bit less pain, but not really the numbing that I get from many indicas. I wouldn't say it's probably used for pain.
No, not a pain strain. Definitely a deep thinker strain. We had a really good discussion out on your patio while we were sessioning with Gary Payton, and it was like, I don't know, I was able to go on not long rants, but they were all cohesive thoughts going into one another. And like some other people will use psilocybin to reset, this is a really good strain for a reset as well. Kind of talking things out, I would say. This is more of a heady high. It's somewhat body, but it's just relaxed, like Brandon said. Like, you can function with this, even though that it's more on the calming effect of like what other people reported. I don't feel like it was. It was more of a sativa leaning hybrid, I would say, just because of how it felt in me, which is not typical. But that's not to say there are some indicas that can make you feel energized. They're rare and few and far between, but
yeah, the most reported effects of Gary Payton are giggly, relaxed, talkative, creative, energizing, euphoria, and focused. It of course does have like some anxious or paranoia that can come if you take too much and you're new to it.
Yeah, low and slow. Low and slow. Only had this in flower. I only heard about it just recently. Never even considered this strain. Never even popped up in my head. It's just such an unusual, regular name to put to a strain. But I've never tried it in vape. Have you?
No, not yet.
And on the edible side, we will wait and see. But I could imagine it would be a very good wake and bake strain with an edible if you're not prone to being able to use flower. I know some people have a hard time getting into flower. It is an acquired taste, but at the same time, I could imagine this being a really awesome edible in a gummy or
Mm-hmm.
maybe even a syrup would be really awesome. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely could see it being amazing and an edible experience. With those who are not wanting to get into smoking, it does have one of those. I tasted like peppery on the
Mm-hmm.
exhale that it kind of just got me in the back of the throat. It wasn't bad, but I also got like apricotty almost flavors
Yeah,
with it. It was the weirdest experience from a.
definitely waves of taste in your mouth
Mm-hmm.
and an experience too, like you stated. Like I felt it in the middle of my head, and then eventually kind of like poured over my body just lightly. Like I felt it all over, but I didn't feel like it was slowing me down. I just felt it there, almost like a blanket, if you will.
Yeah, it actually is, I think, probably really best used for headaches, migraines, ADHD, and ADD. It also is used for like anxiety, stress, and depression.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, but I think that center feeling all the way down through your pineal gland, very, it wasn't crazy cerebral, but it was definitely like in your head, but not like you couldn't get out of your head.
You know, that's kind of funny. I mean, in talking about being deep in your head, I'm going to read probably one of the funniest reviews I have ever seen because it's all one written in caps, so I will not yell it, but I will read it to you. Ah, mate, I think I can see now. This shit made me blind, mate. Best thing in earth. We were hanging out in 2020 and an alien came up with bags of Gary, mate. If you smoke too much of this is what's going to happen. So this guy must have either had like at least two spliffs, maybe a blunt, and a bowl all at the same time. That would definitely so to give kind of like the better side of this. So real quick one is I felt a vibration floating into the sunrise. This strain will have you in a constant state of euphoria. Depression cured. Anxiety cured. Grammarly is on, and I still can't spell. Rar! Good night, folks. That's cool though. They went to what you were talking about. This is great for depression, great for anxiety, but it can induce it. So the first one kind of tells us like, hey, low and slow. This is not something where you want to be like just constantly puffing on. Can put you into that state of paranoia because it does have more sativa notes, if you will.
Just like any cannabis, go low, go slow. And those looking into it, Gary Payton might be a good one to get into. It's not heavy cerebral. You're not going to get
No.
quite as anxious feelings, but you're not going to experience couch lag quite the same either. So,
Yeah, true hybrid, right between up and down metal. It's going to give you some of the best of both worlds. However, it will be different for you. But take our experience. See, like, what, if that's what you feel, cool. Let us know.
were you super munchy on this?
No, not at all.
Yeah, I didn't really feel it like any
Which
need.
was nice. I mean, like, there are some strains where I'll have it. I'm like, I want to eat a whole bag of veggies with like blue cheese dressing. I don't know why. Everybody's like, gross. But
I love blue cheese.
yeah,
I'm a weirdo.
I love that stuff. It's stinky. It's sharp, but yeah, I love. This is a strain where you know what I think it would be a movie strain. This is popcorn, maybe hot dogs and pizza. It's very neutral. I don't really feel like I would lean to one thing or another. It can be a really good social strain in a small circle.
Yeah, I could
Some
see that.
friends around, people that can talk about similar topics. Not really for a busy area. I wouldn't recommend this to like going to an event or a networking thing in business. It's not really the strain because there's just too many distractions, and I would feel frustrated. I'm just like
Not able to.
I don't want to be around all these people. Just get the hell out of here. But yeah, it's good strain. I like it. But on the food wise, neutral. Pretty much whatever you want. But if you don't want to, I'd say wait the 15 minutes. Typically after it will dissipate. You don't get the munchies. You just don't.
Yeah, if you can wait it out, usually a little bit, then you're just fine. Your mind's just like, yeah.
And it's mild
really
on the cotton mouth too. Wasn't too bad.
Nothing like chupaya.
Oh my goodness, this stuff is like sand in your mouth, but I mean, great feeling. Yeah. Okay. Well, everybody, thank you so much for being able to join us. Remember to go to our Patreon, being able to support us again. $1 helps. If you can do more, fantastic. We're growing every single week, and it's all because of you guys. Thank you so much, and make sure to be able to leave a comment, send us a message, send us some images, do some artwork, send it over there, whatever you think we look like.
Or go ahead and leave us a 1-star review.
Yeah,
Just
those
kidding,
are
don't do that.
hilarious.
Or
Yeah,
do.
but leave a review. That'd be awesome. We want to hear what you guys think of it, and if there's improvements, please let us know.
Tune in next week.
Next week.